The new structure has been good. It's been difficult for us kind of adjusting because our U18s are actually playing in a U19 division. When we play against the elite academies, we're playing against U19s. So a lot of those elite academies have picked up players that have been released from the MLS academies that they were playing for as U17s and U18s. In some cases, our 2008s are matched up against their 2006s. So from a development perspective, it's very, very good, really competitive. From a competition perspective, it's hard. I mean, there's some really good games now for our U18s, which again is U17, U18 mix against the U19s. When we compare our platforms versus where we were a year ago in the UPSL, the UPSL was also a good preparation tool for our players. But what's happened now, by taking two age groups and combining them into one, we've really taken the top 10 players from one age group in the community and top 10 players from another age group, a birth year, from the community and put them together. So really, you have the cream of the crop. So every day in training, you have a unique environment, a unique culture, because you have truly the best players in the community together. The U14s, getting them in early within the academy system has been good. You know, training 4 days a week, being in an environment where there's coaches' eyes over top of them, where they can see the linear pathway from the turf field to the training fields to the stadium, knowing that they're a part of that picture, has been really good for those kids. Lorenzo is a very gifted, technical, skillful, tricky, creative, wide player who's headstrong. And when you tell him to take less touches, he seems to take more. But that's part of his strength, is his creativity and his ability to take people on and be comfortable on the ball and impact the game in the front third of the field, as we saw in the Czech Republic. So Lorenzo has grown in leaps and bounds. He's growing on the defending side. He's growing within the system of the program. He's got some great qualities, and talking to the U.S. Youth National Team staff, they just thought he was highly impactful, very good in the front third of the field, unique compared to other players that they had in their player pool. And when you stand out amongst the others and you have something unique, it bodes well for where you're headed with that group of players. For Owen, from a defending side, he's going to be really pushed and challenged because of the level of the athlete that he's going to be matched up against at the camp. But when he's on the ball, his passing and his distribution is second to none. You know, those challenges about, again, playing against higher level players, better athletes, better technical players is going to help him. We took the time when he got the call up to put him up with our U16s, get him some training dates with the 16s, get him some games with the 16s, just to help mimic what he would see in Palm Beach. So hopefully he's doing well, and he's going to benefit from that experience. Success of the teams is one thing, but the individual progress that we see from the kids is something completely different, and something that's really important. You know, we're seeing it from 𝗥𝗲𝗽𝗍𝗻, who has scored 16 goals, I think, in the City 2 program. You know, we see it with Lorenzo, we see it with Owen. 𝗥𝗲𝗽𝗍𝗻 has been called into the national team at one point. Watching him the other day in a scrimmage against the older guys, against the pros, he was very good and had a great performance in that game. So, you know, when we look at the upper end talent that we're producing from the academy, and then the sheer numbers that are now coming into the two-team training environment and game environment and impacting the performance of the team, we really feel like that we're on the right track. We're going in a really good direction. The next fest is coming up in December. That'll be for our 15s, 16s, and 18s out in Palm Springs. So that's a big event, a 3-game, 4-day event. And then our U14s are heading down to 𝗥𝗲𝗽𝗍𝗻 to play some games with 4 Liga MX teams down in Mexico. That was a really important step for us. We wanted to give our youngest players an opportunity to see what the game was like in CONCACAF outside the United States or Canada. We wanted them to see just how passionate the game can be and just how motivated and inspired and dedicated the players from other countries are. Going to Mexico, getting to play, say, Chivas and Pachuca and what other teams we get to play down there, what a great experience for these 14-year-olds. In general, one, we want to continue to try to push as many players into the two-team program as possible. The bigger that funnel is, the more players we push into there, the better chance we have of getting that next player into the stadium. The next step is continue with our college placement. We've got really good college placement into really good programs. Those players may not be quite ready yet for a contract, but give them another 3 to 4 years, and we'll see those players coming back into the program and then hopefully jumping straight into the stadium or into the upper level of the City 2 program in preparation to get into the first team.